It's Chris. Welcome back to Marbling. Today we're going to be talking about how to get that dollar across your business, and for mostly the startup founders out there, how to get that bridge built up. Because you might think it's just, getting a dollar from somebody, but there's actually a little bit of a bridge you need to kind of build to have that be an automated, systematic process that helps you do it consistently time after time. And what that kind of looks like is, if you were to think of, you have a client and you have you, and then, for example, you actually have your business checking account and you want the client to send dollars over the bridge to reach your checking account. Now, what do these pillars look like? Well, you actually have three pillars. You actually have marketing, and you have sales, and you have product. So, something that I speak with a ton of founders throughout the week, and almost all the time they have problems with marketing, getting clients, and selling them. Actually, all startups usually just have those problems. They don't know how to market, they don't know how to sell, but they built pretty good products. Most people actually build half decent stuff, especially at the beginning, first starting out, but they don't know how to sell. And if you don't know how to sell and bring people into your ecosystem, then there's no point. It's just, it's not going to work. And the way I think about it is that you kind of have to pay to have people find out about you. And that's also what the clients pay. So when clients actually pay you, it's a funny thing that I thought about, but it's like, if somebody's paying you, then they're paying the advertising cost for you to find them, which is funny because they're paying to find the solution. They're paying for solutions to come to them. Anyways, but that's essentially the first part is marketing. You want to have your messaging dialed in. You want to have your angles dialed in. You want to have your creative, your copy, like what you're writing and what you're saying, to be dialed in. Have it be speaking to the right kind of people too. And once you get that, then you actually just have to close them. You'll get on meetings, or you just have them look at a website page, convincing enough, addresses all their concerns, shows them all the benefits, and sells them. Now, if you're selling B2B, business to business, you're probably just doing it on a Zoom call or a phone call and text. If you guys are really high up, speaking to really high up people in some businesses, uh, you're going to be closing people a little bit differently. But in the end, you have to close people through sales, and then you have to deliver. You have to deliver a good product that does what you say and more to keep them there. And on top of that, you have to keep iterating that process. Most people just focus building that one bridge. They just focus building the product, the product, the product, the product, the product. When you're a startup, of course, the product is important, but at some point, you got to stop building the product and you have to start building the rest of your bridge, because nothing's going to happen if you just build your product. You're going to have to build your sales system, your text, your language, the benefits you're providing to people. What does your process look like? If you're selling to B2C, business to clients, end users, essentially, then you can just have them be closed on a website page. But if you're selling anything like that's relatively uh, pricey, anything like $500 or more, they're going to probably have to speak with you on a phone call for you to close people. And that's what gets you off your feet, to keep making your product better. Because you can work on your product for 5 years, but if you just worked on your product for 6 months and your sales and marketing for another 6 months, you would get to a product you would have had in 5 years on your second year. You would have saved time. Why? Because you would have had finances coming in. You would have had feedback from people coming in, which is more valuable than your own opinion and what you read on Reddit. Because what you read on Reddit is not exactly what you should be putting in your business. um, so you need to get the finances to reinvest and make your solution better. And that comes from starting to get people into it, even though it's not perfect, getting over that hump, knowing that it's not perfect, but it still helps and it's still good. And it's still good enough for what you're fairly charging to get people results, to get them the benefits that you're promising to them. So if there's one thing I want you to consider is that that has helped me and a lot of other founders that I work with is that you need to build the rest of your bridge and it needs to be fully complete for that dollar to go across. If you're missing marketing, but you have sales and product, then it's still not going to make the way through the bridge. It's going to fall down. It's not going to make it. If you have marketing and nothing else, you'd actually still be able to do okay, but you won't get the results that you would have if you were to have the full system there. If you had just your product, like most people do, you're not going to have anything cross your way because that's the last step of the bridge. And if you don't have it, then you're really just selling nothing. Um, so yeah, just focus on stop getting in your own way. Don't make don't wait for things to be perfect. Don't wait for your product to be perfect because there's no such thing. If $1 trillion company like Apple and Google keep innovating, then there's obviously no such thing as a perfect product. So get that out of your psyche, get that out of your mind. You don't have to have all this extra shit in your program for you to launch it in your software for you to start marketing it, start selling it. Sell what you have. People will obviously give you a price that's fair too, if you're selling to half decent people. And if you're selling something that's half decent in and of itself, if you're solving a problem that's actually worth solving, then you will not have an issue having people coming to you and making the sale a little bit easier. And then you just practice. Because obviously, building out your sales system, your marketing systems, they're not going to be the best when you first start, but you're going to have to build them eventually, unless you have the money to pay for people to do it for you. If not, then you're going to have to do it on your own or look for ways to do it. Look for money to get people in to do it for you. Get services, get people to build these parts of your bridges that you don't want to or you can't. So yeah, that's the focus. If you're a startup founder, this is literally the game plan for you. And you got to stop wasting your time on the product. At some point, just got to start focusing on the marketing, getting people through the door and making sure they're happy and staying with your business. So you get the money to reinvest and make it better, faster over time and in a direction that's going to benefit your clients the most because you're going to be getting their feedback on it. I hope this helped. My name was Chris from Marbling with CKI, and I will see you in the next episode.